Previously on Inside Scoop.
And it wouldn't shock me, right? It just wouldn't shock me that any of these people are anything what they say they are. None of them.
Yeah, because this is not a real show.
It's not a real show. Right, straight up from the bishop down. All of these people could be actors.
I know a lot about the Amish community, and this looks nothing like it.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
Inside Scoop 286 this week, The Single Life, Season 5, Episode 2. We're going to talk 1,000-Pound Sisters. We're going to find a way to talk about Unexpected. We're not going to talk about Amish. I don't think there's much to talk about there. We've got some actual Inside Scoop stuff, so we're going to talk about that. And I think whatever else comes up. Single Life is... Did you feel that even more tension between Kim and Jamal this week?
Yes.
I thought it was very interesting that Jamal was like, no, I'm going to be there when you tell Larry about the sister.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust that you're going to tell him.
Tell the truth. Wow, that was big.
I felt kind of some flashback between like a similar conversation I had like with my mom recently that you were kind of in the room for. This was a calling out. Maybe his wasn't as aggressive as mine was.
Yours was.
Different, but still similar. I mean, we don't think Jamal's that, I don't know, a responsible person himself, right?
Right.
But here, this gets really to the core of parent-child relationship. And I was impressed on how calm Jamal was. Sounds like he'd known this for a while. And so for me, this isn't like it's a surprise for him too much at the time of the filming. So this is a conscious decision of theirs to bring this out in a storyline. This wasn't like Kim's telling him on camera. It's not like a gotcha moment.
Right.
So this makes it a decision. And this I feel uncomfortable.
You wonder why they want this out now, because she's been on the show for so long and been in relationships, and this has never come up. So, yeah, it was all very odd for me. Because you wonder why she would want this to come out now if she's gone to such great lengths to reveal it, unless he pushed for it.
So with all of this even coming out, did you know, it kind of came out quickly, but Jamal overheard a conversation between...
Yes, when he was younger, between his mom and grandmother.
Yeah.
And that's how he found out about his sister.
That's not
So
cool.
you can imagine, as accidentally as he found that out, how then ticked he would be 20 years later to find out he's got a brother.
Because
they didn't tell him then.
He's 12 here. And I think we're going to talk about Unexpected and what 12 maybe means. So if you haven't seen Unexpected, maybe stop now and go watch Unexpected. But I think a single, this is just Steve's opinion from Steve being Steve. A 12-year-old of a single parent household may be a bit more
mature.
Yeah, I think this is it's a very,
in some ways anyway.
It's a very general statement with no science behind it. I think
just
maybe
that they've had to deal with some things,
right? And
some
I think,
challenges.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's a bit more prevalent in society today that a 12-year-old is in a single-parent household, or at least the product of a family of divorce. I may have been more 12-year-olds are in that situation than the opposite. So I got to think Jamal's at a spot here at 12 where he's a bit more receptive to this, and this is the chance that Kim has to really go through all of it. And she doesn't. It's her choice. I mean, you're a parent, and you know your child and what they can handle. But to me...
Yeah, but we're talking about the other son. She didn't tell him about the sister. Why would she not?
Well,
at the same time that he's discovering them. Because it wasn't like she was hiding it from Jamal, because he already knew.
It feels very immature.
And it made it very awkward for him because he knew and couldn't tell him. So then it makes him in on it. Mm-hmm. So I understand his angst about that.
He goes, I want to be no part of this.
Right.
I do not want to be a part of any of whatever issues you're dealing with. I want to protect Larry. I think Jamal it seems like he's very proud that he has, a brother somewhere and a sister somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I think he's a bit defensive of him.
Yeah, because he didn't have his dad and he didn't get to grow up with siblings. So all he's ever had is his mom. And now suddenly he has full-blood brother and sister to share his life with. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the full blood thing is even an odd situation, too.
It is. And that really makes it more of a reason for me of why he should have known all along. Mm. I mean, just from my own perspective, I always knew that I had a half brother. I never met him. I never saw him. He didn't want anything to do with us. As an adult, and gave up, any relationship with my dad. When he turned 18, he even tried to get my dad to give up any parenting hold and gave up the name and took the name of his stepfather. So, I mean, he had no association with us at all. But growing up, I knew about him. Mm. I could ask any questions I wanted. I knew it was painful for my dad. I didn't realize how painful till my dad passed away and my mom passed away. And I got the letters that my mom kept between her and my dad when they were dating and engaged. And he wrote so much about him, and I got to really understand the emotional attachment my dad had to him from his previous marriage. And it wasn't until after that I discovered he's actually not my half brother at all, but my cousin, because his wife had an affair with his brother while he was away in the military. So that's a whole nother thing.
Just so you know, that sounds more like my family history.
Exactly. But, yes. And now my dad suspected this all along, but it was never proven. And he paid child support all those years. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't his kid, it was his brother's kid. Yeah. So that's the thing. I wish my dad had known that because it hurt him so much having a relationship.
I think with your dad, and not to get too personal, but I think this would have been angst that he'd had for years and years.
It was.
That he had to deal with.
It hurt him a lot.
And obviously a child having to deal with this. My experience with a half sibling was still in the house, so I knew about this the whole time. And it's odd. It's odd for everybody.
And I wondered if that cousin ever knew later in his life that my dad wasn't his dad, but that my uncle was, because he passed away too. Maybe he died because he's dead now. So maybe he died never having known his own father, who his own father was, and having hard feelings with my dad for absolutely no reason. Yeah. I mean, it's messed up. Secrets are messed up.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're dealing with here, right?
And that's why I bring it up.
These are secrets.
These are secrets, and people do have the right to know and to do with that information as they feel appropriate for themselves. Mm-hmm. But hiding information from people, that's a no-go. I think if my dad hadn't told me about it when I was young, I mean real young, like a little kid, and I hadn't known about it all my life, if I'd find out about it later, I think it would have bothered me somehow. Because I'm very into family and close relationships with people. And I even thought about writing to him after my dad passed away, just to reach out to say, hey, I'm your sister. But because I wasn't born when he was part of the family and then gave it up. And so he never met me or knew anything about me. And so since we're older, I thought about reaching out. Then he passed away. Then my brother did a DNA test and found this out. So, but I think if he had been and I hadn't known, and then I found out and it was too late to meet him or be a part of his life, I think that I would have been very angry about that.
Yeah.
And very hurt.
And
to
so
have not been informed.
You see the communication issue that Jamal has with his mom.
Yes.
Is I don't know that I can trust you to do the right thing. And this is like
Right.
he's the adult and she's the child.
That was big.
It has to be a really complicated relationship between Kim and the father of these 3 children.
Yeah.
It has to be something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I mean, and so I think you can feel the tension. And I am a bit surprised that they're putting this out there. This seems to be an odd storyline.
They must
deep
have been,
in the family.
They must have been together for a long time to have 3 children together.
Yeah, and forgive me for not really having their ages down. I probably could have done some research there. So, but that is very awkward, and for me, it's just a surprising thing to put out there. I think this might be some family stuff that, again, I'm not saying you got to keep secrets, but maybe keeping this in the family. Although it sparks people to talk about stuff, so I guess it's either good or bad, right? I mean, you talk about stuff, and it either resolves things or brings up pain. Mm-hmm. One or the other. Pedro and Sophie, I don't know there's anything really to talk about here.
Yeah.
This is all little girl drama, girl code, and whatever, coming on too strong. I'm like, this really feels like something not even to talk about. We know this is all just a stage thing. Let's send everybody who lives in the States to the DR to all get together and film for a week. And here's what we've got. Courtney and Colt, this is a bit of this whole thing's uncomfortable too, right? I like Courtney. I like Courtney's parents. Colt there seems like it's a horrible sitcom. It's like Alf. You've introduced this alien, and, you know, he's not so bearded here. I guess a little bit. So maybe he's a bit like Alf. And you may not know who Alf is. I forgot. People may not know. People may not know the Alf sitcom. But this is
I didn't watch it, but I know who that is.
Right. He's Alf in here. I love just the dad jokes and messing with the thermostat and this kind of stuff that they're going through. I thought it was kind of funny. But Colt being here, do you have any thoughts that he's not here because he wants to be in a relationship and he's just there because he's got a place to stay? Is that possible?
Yes,
Colt?
I think so.
Yeah. Courtney's great. I mean, she's super.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's just along for the ride, and he's not, really, he's not really committed. He's still talking to somebody else. He knows it. He's playing her. He's telling his friend about it. I mean, this is low. This is really low because Courtney is a kind person, a very kind and giving person. And he is really, really at his lowest to be taking advantage of her in this way.
Yeah, I think we get to know Courtney a little better here in this situation. I think we would have just got her as a fun, ditzy party girl who's fun to be around. But I really think you're right. I think she's deep inside. I think she's good.
I do too. She's a product of her parents inside.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, they're not quite. They're a little older than us, but I think we're a little closer to them.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously kind, giving, open people, and she is very much the same.
Yeah, I think they've all done good. Gino just pains me. This is bad, right? Same thing. It's just Gino being awkward and goofy and I don't believe any of this Gino Natalie crap or whatsoever. You look at what's. I think you can.
That's baloney.
I think
it
you can
really
almost
is.
spot like what's real and what's not. And I think we see this. I think whatever producer has Gino and Jasmine, while they've made good TV, I don't think it's believable at all. I'm going to guess it's the same production team, right? The same producer would, however they break this up. And so this producer's just trying to get content. And so we get this whole Gino and Jasmine thing that we've been involved in for years now. And it's just horribly painful. And I have to tell you, even though I don't pause it or fast forward through it, when it's on, I actually go and I'll like leave the room, go make a cup of coffee and come back and it's still on. And I go, I know I haven't missed anything of substance because it's just Gino and Jasmine and whatever.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. It's nothing. Well, they haven't
There's no way this chick would come back and give him another chance after a year. She's long gone. This is baloney.
Yeah, because
this is so fabricated.
And who's Gino?
Yeah, and she was so fed up with him after the whole scene with Jasmine and getting shoved and talked to like that and all that. I mean, she wanted nothing to do with him, so I don't see why it's any different. A year later, they're still married.
It's not.
What has changed?
Right. So for me, that's really nothing. So it's a non-issue and a non-story. But we are going to talk Unexpected, 1,000-Pound Sisters, and a couple of scoop stories when we come back.
Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
by subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon,
or by subscribing to our Supercast
for $3.99 a month,
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
real life, and more on our podcasts,
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes.
Tell your friends about this podcast.
And rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.